Hello everybody. So hear those sirens? There'll be lots of those. We're living in some very amazing, significant times now, and it's also, it's exciting for some, an adventure, and also very can be very painful and fearful and panicky for others. People, a lot of panic is going on around now. It depends on where you're situated on this, what's going on here. So anyway, the way I'm seeing things is, we're at a time where there's this a rise of a war coming for world domination. And I don't think this is not, I'm not coming from a conspiracy theory idea, really. Just something that's actually a spiritual phenomena, natural phenomena that occurs in this world of domination, of world domination. People want to dominate each other's worlds, whatever that, dominate one other person over another. So we have that individual thing to dominate others. It's kind of a human trait. People want to dominate each other in different ways. Could be like dominate people by your philosophy, your understanding. There's some kind of you want to become dominant like this, victorious in arguments. See, so there's this, individually we got this, and collectively too. There's collectively at times there's a fight for world domination, and I know that word sounds pretty sound kind of weird or hokey or something, or like a conspiracy theory or something, but it's actually a natural phenomenon. Happens, and this is, see if you can get it from this perspective, this world domination. Let's go first to Bhagavad-Gita. Bhagavad-Gita talks about the modes of nature. There's various modes or energies covering consciousness in this world. Okay? So there's the mode of ignorance, passion, and goodness, and these are different qualities that cause people to act differently in this world. And then there's this phenomena described in Bhagavad-Gita called the competition of the modes. There's a competition, a fighting for domination. See, it's just a natural phenomenon. So, mode of ignorance is fighting to be dominant over passion, and passion is trying to dominate over ignorance. Sometimes goodness tries to dominate over passion. That's like people trying to become a Brahmin type person, regulated, austere, renounced, stuff like that. You're trying to dominate the passionate nature that we may have, try to rise to another platform. So they take some kind of a domination by discipline. Okay? So see, this domination thing is happening. And also now I'm going to introduce, sometimes there's a domination between the modes of nature, ignorance, passion, and goodness. There's a time in history, sometimes the God, the spiritual platform wants to bring a domination of the world by the Spirit. See? So now that we have this thing where people talk about, in religion, they talk about the Antichrist. See, Antichrist, Anti-Krishna could also be thrown in there too. It's the same conception, actually. See, so there's this domination principle that happens sometimes, and that was shown in various times when something significant was going to manifest in this planet. So Jesus Christ was a significant manifestation. Well, actually started with Moses. God was behind Moses, this spiritual potency. They in the Bhagavad-Gita, I don't know if they describe it much, but it's pure spirit, it's pure goodness. They describe it in Bhagavatam. the mode of pure goodness. And sometimes, whether you want to think of it as God or the source, wants this pure goodness, this spiritual consciousness to dominate in this world. See? So this starts a fight. It kind of picks a fight. So we have that fight with Jesus bringing in worship of God by way of the Spirit. See? So and Jesus told the woman at the well, the Lord is very much looking for this kind of worship of the Spirit, worship by Spirit, and truth. See, truth is the complete truth, and understand who God is and what His purpose is in this world. What's this world about? Why are people suffering? How to get out of suffering, and all kinds of stuff. How to attain immortal life. Subjects like that. I think those are pretty important, right? So anyway, Jesus was one of the representatives of the Spirit in this world, which caused a domination, like a fight for domination between the mundane, worldly level of consciousness and the spiritual consciousness. And that fight is still going on. People, you can see in the symptoms of people in Christianity there's some people worshiping by the way of the Spirit, and some people worshiping on the more level of religion, more of a worldly view of God and truth and stuff, but not really complete. See? So anyway, that was started there. This was also 5,000 years ago in the Battle of Kurukshetra, where the battle of the Spirit of Krishna and his representatives, the Pandavas, against mundane, demoniac kind of personalities, those who wanted to dominate the world through deceit, deception, manipulation. See, that's world domination of worldly people. See? So that happened in that time. Also, when Lord Chaitanya was here 500 years ago, there was this battle of the anti-Christ Krishna principle coming up, and to try to dominate and control what was coming through. So anyway, Lord Chaitanya was a representative of the spiritual platform of worshiping God, actually on its most deep and highest level, very rarely distributed in this world, with such intensity and such liberality, to sweep so many people into it. So anyway, at first there was a fight for domination. Religion, see, the worldly religionists didn't like his message, just like the Pharisees in Jesus' time didn't like his message, see, because on that level of religion, that there's still with the age of Kali influence. This is in the Vaishnava tradition, teaching this age of Kali is full of hypocrisy, lies, deceit, deceptions, see, illusions, illusionists, people who act like experts but really aren't, really, in the truth. Okay? So anyway, there was a fight for a while there, and actually the Spirit actually won for a while. For a while, there was masses of people getting this elevation in spiritual consciousness from the material platform to the spiritual. See? So this is always going on periodically. And now I see the signs and the symptoms that we're in another time of this battle for domination again between the spiritual level of consciousness and the material worldly consciousness. And that's where you'll see, if you want to distinguish up, you see people have these conspiracy theories, not that they're actually, maybe some of them are off, but there's some truth in all of this. You have the persons who are saying that there's actually behind what's going on now in this time, and I don't need to name what's going on. We all know we're faced with it. So what's going on now, there's a purpose behind it, a very methodical, manipulative plan from some 1% of the elite persons who have been planning this, and now it's coming, and they're using some, like a smoke screen, some deceptive smoke screen to cover it up and say, oh, it's this other thing, but actually there's a deeper motive and a deeper reason why people are becoming ill and sick, and the purpose that is accomplishing. See, but actually it's not easy to see that, to sort all that out, because people generally are not attuned to higher consciousness. Well, some people are. Anyway, there's some people that are attuned to it, but the masses generally aren't. See? So there are some people in this level of higher consciousness, in this worshiping the source, and having these deeper, more subtle, higher vibrations and feelings and understanding of truth, that can begin to see that there's something fishy going on here, something being inaugurated, or inaugurated, that's not what it actually seems like, or there's something behind what's going on externally. Like superficially, we see like the media, the government, and now they're enrolling people in the masses. Any information you get that's different than what we are giving you, is you just consider it false news, fake news, and snitch on those persons. So anything that's different than the narrative, see, narrative is, this is what's happening according to the experts. The experts are here, and you listen to them because we deem them as experts. But many of those experts are being paid off, and they're not as pure in heart as you may think. It's just, this is the world. It's like that. People sell out all the time. It's that way in religion also. People think they're getting the truest source of God going to Christianity or ISKCON or Gaudiya Samiti or Gaudiya Math, these mass organizations, and you think, oh, well, these gurus and teachers, what they're giving us is the right narrative, is really the real pure truth. But not necessarily. And it is, in my experience, it isn't. That's why I just go by the book. Krishna says, abandon all varieties of religion. But you can't do that artificially. You have to be elevated in higher consciousness to understand how to do that in a way that you don't fall into illusion. Okay? So there's all those considerations. See, so we got the Antichrist and the battle of the rise of the Antichrist, the Anti-Krishna. Okay, now what is that all about practically in this world domination? Okay, there are mundane persons in this world who part of human nature is to control, to manipulate the world, the resources, exploit them. This is human nature. This is taught in deep philosophical scriptures in India. There's this and actually in history, this fight for worldly domination, want to be in control. Okay? So this goes into very high levels of celestial levels, where in Vaishnavism they talk about the demigods. Even the demigods, they have these hidden motives often. Can be not all of them, but if they're not purified in their hearts, they can be acting according to jealousies, anger, deceit, deceptions, and all of this. And in religion, most are run by that. In their consciousness is still covered by that. And even though they appear very sincere and humble and all that, still their consciousness is not purified to the higher level, which is of the pure spirit. See, this is the level of grace and special mercy of God. And so certain persons are here with that, and they may be, and they are, and actually they are in Christianity, and they are in Vaishnavism. You just have, if a person is somewhat purified in heart and not overly bewildered by externals, and can see the symptoms and of the persons that are led by the Spirit, spiritual consciousness. See, because there are many parallels, like in Christianity, those who have the mercy of Jesus Christ, and other ecstatic persons worshiping according to the Holy Spirit, and there's persons in Vaishnavism, fewer ones, of course, because this is our time for this awakening of the Spirit, but they are here, and they will also understand, oh wow, this is kind of, I'm on this page too. But the masses in Vaishnavism right now are still in worldly consciousness. They're still interested in rituals and ceremonies and works, with their own works. They want to attain God and all that stuff. They don't know about the subtler topics of grace, mercy, spiritual potency,